Hello everyone, I am Priya. Welcome back to Learn with Priya. So today we are going to learn class 9 English, the poem that is the Legend of Northland. So let's get started with our session. And after this session you'll be able to learn the whole poem and able to give answers for my questions also. Okay. Okay children. So the Legend of Northland is by Phoebe Carey. So who is Phoebe Carey? She is a poetess. She's a poetess. She's an American poetess and the younger sister of Alice Carey. Alice Carey is the elder sister of Phoebe Carey. She was born on September 4, 1822, and died on July 27, 1871. And this is a prose. What we are studying right now is a prose. The Legend of Northland is a prose. A Legend of Northland is a ballad. What is a ballad? We have never heard about ballad till now. Okay, so from ninth and 10th, you will start learning about ballad. Ballad is a song narrating a story in short stanzas. Ballads are part of folk culture or popular culture and are passed on a orally form generation to the next. Ballad is nothing but stories. Okay, the stories that are given in a verse, given in a story form. Away in the Northland, there are hours of day are few, and nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. So, away in the Northland. So, this took place in the Northland, where the hours of days are few. That means the day is less. The day is having less hours, and the nights are so long. And the nights are so long. Days are short and nights are long. Nights are long that they cannot sleep them through. That people cannot sleep. Nights are so long that people cannot sleep all the night when they where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bears' cubs in the furry funny clothes. Where they harness the swift reindeer, where the reindeers are found everywhere, to the sledges. Sledges are this vehicle is called sledges, and this is the reindeer, and this is the sledge. And the children look like bear cubs in the funny furry clothes. So here the children look like bear cubs in the funny furry clothes. To tell them a curious story, I don't believe it is true. And yet we learn a lesson if I tell you a tale to you. Once, when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it preaching, just as he did, you know. So, what happened? Now we are going into the story that once when a good Saint Peter is a devotee of Jesus Christ. So when he lived in the world a long time ago, he walked and was searching. He was walking in the whole world. He went a tour for the whole world. And then he came to a door of a cottage in traveling round the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. Hearth is this baking, wala. This is called hearth. Okay. So what happened? He came to a door of cottage. He was traveling around the earth. He came to a door of a cottage where the little woman is her. She was baking, she was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. She was baking them on the hearth. Hearth is given the floor of a fireplace, and this is a cottage. And being faint with fasting for the day was almost done. He asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. He was about to faint with fasting. He was starving. For the day was almost done. That means the day was almost done in the sense evening. Okay? He asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. He was starving, so he asked her to give him a single cake. So she made a very little cake. She made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. What was she doing? She was becoming greedy and miser. She thought that it was too large to give away. Therefore, she needed another one, and still a smaller one. But it looked, when she turned it over, as large as the first had done. Again, she thought that it was large to give away, the previous one. So, what she did, she needed another one. She wanted to make it smaller than the previous one. But it looked that it was large as the first one. So, what did she do? Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it fat and baked it as thin as a wafer. But she couldn't part with that. For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. What did she do? She made a very tiny scrap, matlab, tiny roll. She took a tiny ball of dough and started to roll it as flat as possible. So when she baked it, it turned to be a wafer. But she couldn't give that away too. So she said to herself that when I eat my cakes, they are so small. But when I am giving away to someone, why are they so large? Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. And he said to you as far too selfish to dwell in a human form and to have food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. What did the after she made a wafer, the Saint Peter went very angry. He was furious. He was hungry and was about to faint, and he was very angry. So he told that you're too selfish. This woman is too selfish. So he told her that you don't deserve to be a human. You don't deserve to have food, shelter, and fire. Now you shall build as birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in hard dry wood. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she changed into a bird. So what happened? The Saint Peter cursed her into a woodpecker. So you better be a woodpecker. You don't deserve to be a human being. You shall build as the birds do. You shall find food as the birds do. You shall starve as the birds do. And she had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same. But all the rest of her clothes were burned, black as coal in the flame. So what happened? She was only left with the scarlet bright red cap. Okay, scarlet means bright red cap, with that only, and rest of her clothes were burned to ash. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood, where she lives in the trees till very day, boring and boring for food. What happened in every country? Every schoolboy passes through the forest to go to school. So everybody saw that woodpecker who was boring and boring for food. This poem is a legend about a old lady who angered Saint Peter because of her greed. The poem is simple but teaches us a moral lesson that we should not be greedy. We must help the poor and hungry people. Humanity is above all. It is the only quality that differentiates us from the animals. So we should be compassionate towards those who generally need our help. So this is the moral of the story. And these are rhyming words. Poetic devices used are repetition. Repetition is used away in the Northland, and rolled it fat, boring and boring and boring, and boring and boring for food are repetition. And here are some poetic device, that is alteration and simile were also used. Alteration is funny and furry and still smaller. Simile is and the children look like bear cubs, and but all the rest of our clothes were burned black as coal in the flame. That's it. Thank you, children. Thank you everyone for watching the video till the end. Please subscribe to my channel for more interesting content.